Hey guys, welcome to YouTube. Shawn, Linton YouTube blog. I just want to thank my viewers, thank the comments, and thank people who are trying to subscribe. Hey, I am the bad one to know about technology, but listen, try and find out, and don't only watch the videos, but I'd like you to subscribe, and you're free to add a comment, and also follow us on YouTube. I just want to say hi to Marlon. He's a very good producer that is dedicated and is really a good man. And I respect him, a young man, I should say, that is doing a good job in his work that he does, and also find time in producing and also assist me in what I do on a weekly basis. Respect to you. I would like to, today I'll just want to talk about a history of my church life, trying to give a snippet of where I came from, and also how to get here. Well, my family is predominantly Anglican, like my great as far as you can go. I'm from a very mixed family. I'm from a big mixed heritage. And my family, especially my mom's side, is from a very Anglican family. Church of England, going all the way back. So, but I'm Pentecostal because my mom never had a problem with it. Even though some of my the older ones had, but my mom never had a problem with it. And some of my aunties are Pentecostal. My dad's side are more Pentecostal. My mom's side are more Anglican base. And but my church journey from a very strict family, very strict traditionalist culture, church orientated, very cultural, very practice, very, do you know what I mean, from bishops, you name it, elders, deacons, bishops, and all of that in the church. My church life is that I started out in the church very young, very as young. Okay, you can possibly say Shawn has been attending church. I remember praying for Sunday school offering when I was so tiny. I can't even remember my age, and I remember 12. All the ages I can remember all my life. Church. I remember became the church president when I was 12 years old in church, and I was baptized in the Pentecostal Assembly of the World. Now that church is a church that from the Azusa Street in America when the revival broke out 100 years ago. The Pentecostal revival of fire that broke out is a well documented event in history of the world. The Azusa Street revival, you can look it up, and that is a state in America. Now, in America, we have, it was the PFW, the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World, and our church broke off from that, the UBC and others followed. But the PFW church is called the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World. Now, the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World Incorporated, I've got churches in the Caribbean, in Africa, in East Asia, all the way in Europe, and just worldwide. We have different bishops, like our European bishop was a bishop from Peckham. His name was Bishop Pitt, the late Bishop Pitt. He was the bishop from he was our bishop in the European bishop that governed the European churches. Then you've got the bishop that governed the continents of Africa, and then the North America and the Caribbean bishops. Then you've got the world bishop, and the executive board over that. And all that. That is the administrational order of the PFW, or a small view of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the World administrative system. Now they have churches, as I said, all over the world. In the entire world, there is a Pentecostal Assemblies of the World that work vigorously in the spiritual, mental, and physical aspect of a human person in trying to create a development that is constructive and lasting for a human person or for human environment. Now we have the Pentecostal assemblies of the world have got different aspects and different section and different avenues and different ways and different like what was his name? You have Bishop Jones, Noel Jones in California. He's working very well in his church in California in what he does. This is the actress Grace Jones. Well, as many as you know, Grace Jones, that we grew up with Grace Jones' dad, Grace Jones' uncle was my bishop, you know. So Grace Jones was brought up in the church. I know her mom very well. You know, if you go to my Facebook page, you see photographs of me and her mom. She was there also, and you know, she was a Pentecostal, clap, speaking tongues, rejoicing, wonderful sister in God. You know, that has got different talent and have got different abilities. And what the church is doing now, our brother Bishop Noel Jones and a whole lot of a team are trying to bring to the people the diversity, how to know that you are somebody from the church or somebody that love God, but you can, and if you've got a diverse, whether it's in the creative or academic, that you can do it, and you don't necessarily have to sell out, but you can do it and be comfortable and be at one and peace with it, you know. So I came up in a church age whereby a lot of things was a sin, you know. I was on TV. I was on TV at the age of 6. You know, that's my first ever. You know, came on children program, different program. I did theater. I did a whole 9 yards. You know, but at the church that was like a sin. Oh. And you know how to speak in tongues, and you know how it was, you know, and we do not, I do not discredit or I do not have anything hold it against anybody in the church, and you cannot intelligently hold that because that was what it was. What we are trying to say now in the society that we are living, political change, environmental change, sociological change, philosophical change, psychological change. The environment has changed. I mean, everything has changed. So therefore, I do believe that it's time for the church, you see, to arise, not to change the word of God, because you see, that's what we represent, the word of God, and we legislate it into to the people, you know, to effect change. So I do believe that in a time that we are living in now, that it is time that we actually administer that from an intelligent perspective to liberate people, especially young people who are not coming to church, who have got a different view, who haven't got no view. Some people don't know what it is about. Some people think, okay, please, they just judge me, they're going to judge me, they're going to condemn me, they're going to cast me, they're going to do this. And the very people who are in there, who are dying themselves because of lack of knowledge. I do believe it's a time that we stop preaching from a past tense and start to administer from a present tense. How to take the word as it is written, as a written format in the cultural sense, in the language it was, in the age it was, in the practice it was, in the family that it was back then, and to bring it into modern time, how we can take that word and activate it into a modern terminology, into a modern aspect, and to live and to project and to continue your life, how to live it that way. And this is the reason why the church has been persecuted. We don't understand. We got snipers, we got enemies all about, and the young people need to understand in the church that there are people that are snakes. They smile with you, but they got a dagger. They've got psychological plan. They do all sort of things, and they are just and they make it a big deal. You know, and put the church down while you have no disrespect, when you have the Islam community have gone out and it's got representative from every aspects of life. You know, you've got representative from you've got kings and queens and princesses and presidents and prime ministers and premier and aristocrat and upper class and just everybody representing the Islamic race from all over the world, you know. So therefore, the more you talk about something and put it out there, people have got a insight and a foresight and a knowledge and an understanding about it. What we need with Christianity is that we need the understanding. We need to let it go out there. That's our fellow children in school are not persecuted for speaking in tongues and for clapping hands. And we are living into the United Kingdom of Great Britain, and we were shocked and surprised to see the amount of discrimination and persecution and silent institutional and organizational attack that goes on, pretending that they don't know because you are asleep, you see. And it is time for, I would say, to arise, not in a judgment prospect, because we've got enough judgment around. You're surrounded by snakes and surrounded by venomous poison. Do you know what I mean? For you to have another judgment rise up. We don't need that. What we do need, we need people to rise up who are liberators, who are emancipators, who can effect change, who can cause a boomerang of change, who can cause a sort of a chain of fire that has got nothing to do with self-gratification or looking for a seat or looking for a place, but people who understand that the church has got a relevant place in society. You know, the church has a relevant place. And if you are a Christian, it's not a disgrace. It's nothing for you to be ashamed about. Whether you speak in tongues, you're from the Pentecostal church, you dance about, and also to understand if you are a church leader and you are in the church and you have people, whether they are from the entertainment industry or whether they are diverse, that you do not, kill them and persecute them and judge them if they don't believe the way you believe, or did you preach a word of God and you leave it there? You know, I was brought up in a very strict. They were very strict, but they were very loving, and I loved my childhood church. I loved it because they were very strict, but they also teach you the administrational principles, and they teach you the word of God, and they teach you what they just implement as they said, and they're patient with you, and that is what we need back. You know, my church in London that I have gotten a teenage in, I really admire them, I love them, and they are doing a good job. You know, the Bethel organization that when I came in Derby before, that is wonderful. What we are trying to say, we are reaching out to people, independent churches who have just started, who just come into this country, who have just to follow the word. There's nothing wrong in preaching the word, but your administration, the way you legislate it, the way you officiate it, the way you stand out on it, the way you project it, your presentation, your delivery pattern must be one not only of love, but of this standard. God bless you.